Hi guys, today we are making a golden snitch using a wafer paper for its wings. Let's start with flattening up a brown fondant. The color of the fondant doesn't really matter because we're going to spray it up with gold later on, but try to keep it as close as possible to gold. I am using a styrobowl to minimize the fondant that we're going to use. Cover the whole styrobowl with the fondant. Do it gently so that you will not crack the fondant. And then cut all the excess fondant underneath. Make sure that you are covering the whole ball. Cut a little bit of portions on those parts wherein there's a line, and then use your fingers to smudge it. This way, the fondant will merge and it will look like one whole round fondant. Roll the ball with your palm and also on the table. This will help it smoothen up the whole ball. When you are happy with it, set it aside to dry. Now let us start with our wings. Cover the wire with floral tape. This way the fondant will not fall off. I am using a number 18 wire. I took this pattern from the internet. We can use it as a guide for our wings. Bend both wires using our pattern. And put them side by side to check if they are perfectly aligned. Adjust and cut the wire if needed. After that, find the edge of the wing and then we will bend it around 45 degrees. It should look something like this. It doesn't have to be perfect, but try to make them as identical as you can. Set it aside and now roll some brown fondant. Damp it with a little bit of water and then wrap it around the wire. Do it gently so that you will not break the fondant. Cut all the excess fondant as we only need it to wrap around the whole wire. Use your fingers to smoothen up the edges. Repeat the same process on the other wing. Now let's attach the wing to the ball. Create a V shape that will go from the top and then in the middle on the bottom. Actually a V shape and then both of them will meet in the center at the bottom part. I am using an extra wire so that this will take all the pressure and not our wings. Because if we use our wings, it will for sure deform while we're doing this. When that's done, let's put our real wings. Try to be as gentle as possible to not damage the wings. And then put the other wing as well. As you can see, both of them are not really in the middle perfectly, but that's fine because we can still fix it by combining them together and making sure that the end result will be in the middle. It will look something like this. After that, just put some floral tape around it. With all that struggle, for sure our wings kind of deform, so try to fix it as much as you can. Using the pattern earlier, this will make our work easier. Adjust accordingly and of course do it for both wings. When you are happy with it, now let's create the stripes for the details. We're going to need around 8 to 10 pieces of this each. I think this might be around 1 millimeter each. When you have made enough, we will start designing. Put a little bit of water on the whole thing. Make sure you have a copy of the golden snitch so that it's easier for us to duplicate it. Now this is very delicate and may take a lot of time, so just be patient. And then cut excess fondant. Do the same thing for the opposite side. Add some water if the fondant is not sticking properly. And then just go ahead and try to copy the original as much as you can. Whenever I try to recreate something, I always look for the original photo. This way, we can make sure that they are identical. I mean, it might not be 100% identical, but at least it's close enough. Anyway, so I'm going to finish this up and get back to you. I know that my style is a bit labor intensive, but for me, it's definitely worth it. I'm sure your customers will love the extra details that you put on this work. When all the details are done, set it aside to dry. Let us now work on the wings. Using the same pattern, trace it on the wafer paper. Flip the pattern and trace it again. We will be needing both of these in one wing. And then cut both of them. Stick the wafer paper onto the wire, but don't forget to put edible glue. And then place the other wafer paper. Try to align them as much as possible. And then combine the wafer paper together. Add more edible glue if you need it, but make sure not to put so much as it will melt the wafer paper. You can use a brush to help you water the middle part of the wafer paper. Try to be as gentle as possible because wafer paper can easily break. This looks good to me, so now we will repeat the same process on the other wing. When both wings are done, use a small scissor to clean up the wings. And then cut a strip across the wings from down to up. Maybe around 1 to 2 millimeter each depending on you. And the same thing on the other side. This looks good to me now. The only thing that's missing is coloring it with gold. Create an edible gold and take out your airbrush. And then all you have to do is spray it across the whole snitch. Make sure that everything is being covered. And that's how we create a golden snitch with edible wafer paper wings. I hope you like our video tutorial for today. If you like our video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you!